There's never been a lunatic like this in the White House, and we've had some bad ones.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
If Kamala Harris gets in, she would be the most radical far-left extremist ever to occupy the White House times 10. There's never been a lunatic like this in the White House, and we've had some bad ones. They're nasty people, the Democrats, so we better beat them or we're not going to have a country left. You're not going to have a country left. So now we have a new victim to defeat. Lion Kamala Harris. Lion. L-Y-I-N apostrophe. The most incompetent and far-left vice president in American history. By the way, they did a poll. She was rated the worst vice president in history. I've never seen that poll before, but that's the poll. And just like crooked Joe Biden, Kamala Harris is unfit to lead. She's unfit to lead. She'll destroy our country. In a year, this country will be destroyed. A vote for Kamala is a vote for 4 more years of dishonesty, incompetence, weakness, and failure.
We have seen snippets of Kamala Harris over the course of the last 3 years. Very few of those snippets have been edifying, Douglas. Here she is as senator applauding the idea of defunding the police.
Right now, what we're seeing in America is many cities spend over 1/3 of their entire city budget on policing. But meanwhile, we've been defunding public schools for years in America. We've got to re-examine what we're doing with American taxpayer dollars.
And here she is talking about eliminating private health insurance.
You support the Medicare for All bill, I think initially co-sponsored by Senator Bernie Sanders. You're also a co-sponsor on it. I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance. So for people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it?
Well, listen, the idea is that everyone gets access to medical care. And you don't have to go through the process of going through an insurance company, having them give you approval, going through the paperwork, all of the delay that may require. Who of us has not had that situation where you got to wait for approval and the doctor says, well, I don't know if your insurance company is going to cover this? Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
And it doesn't stop there. She also agreed with the hard left representative AOC's push to eliminate cars in 11 years.
60 Minutes this weekend proudly calling herself a radical, and she's promoting policies like saying that every single carbon emission in the country, every car, should be eliminated within the next 11 years, everything from a 70 to 80% tax rate. Do you agree that she could possibly, in this ideology of the socialist left, could splinter your party?
No. I think that she is challenging the status quo. I think that's fantastic.
Douglas, you mentioned earlier the Obama talking points without the detail. Do we know what she actually believes in and whether and to what extent that would form part of any Democratic policy platform?
No, we have very little idea of what she believes in, actually, because she either says things like, that's why we need to have the conversation about that. That's one of her tricks whenever she gets into a corner where she really doesn't know what to say. And the rest of it, as I said earlier, are sort of banalities. This is somebody who, from the clips you just played, seems to think that they can answer the problems of education in America, of healthcare in America, of crime in America. But there's absolutely no meat on the bone. I mean, the idea is in that first clip that it's an either or in regards to policing or schooling. It's not a lack of money that's the problem in American schooling. It's a lack of decent teaching and a lack of discipline in the schools. There are American students in even the poorest states who have more money per pupil paid by the state for their education than in most countries around the world, and yet they still have some of the worst literacy and numeracy rates. And that's not a failing of funding, that's a failing of the teaching unions across America, among much else. Only Kamala Harris can present these complex problems, pretend the solution to them is simply more money, and promise to put more money everywhere, and make it not at all clear exactly how that money would be of any use. As I say, it's all vapid and empty rhetoric, and it's very unclear what she actually believes. She just says what she needs to say to get through the next 10 seconds of any interview or speech.